Welcome to One Take Wine, and what are we even doing here? This tasting is about the 2020 vintage. Probably 2020 represents the most of any particular vintage I drank this year, any particular in Burgundy. In addition to this, I will open a Bordeaux and then open an Argentinian wine. It's kind of a nice juxtaposition anyway, isn't it? Plus, it's an excuse to drink some more wine. Not that I ever need an excuse, but hey, I'm always happy to have one. What are we waiting for? Let's get her home. What do we got in the glass? Lovely color, bright and chipper, and the flush of youth on its cheeks. Not purple anymore though. Very nice. Very vitamin-y actually. Coffee and vitamins. A length that represents a little bit of where it comes from, close to the combe. In Gevrey, Chambertin. Gives it a coolness, a little freshness. You can feel it. Beautiful cherry fruit. Maybe a little bit of cinnamon. And then the barrel. This needs some time. And I wonder if it's on its way into its sleep phase. So if you were to buy some of this stuff, you'd have to crack it open pretty soon, I would think, or bury it for 5-10 years before revisiting. This is a really good example of a 2020 because I think 2020s are a little bit more severe, a little darker. They're a little surly, if you will. I don't think that's a huge deal. It's just the style of the vintage in Burgundy, in the reds. That's my opinion. This is a 2020 Gran Enemigo single vineyard Gualtallary. What do we got in the glass? Look at that color. Tawny port shade on a purple wine-stained table. This is very floral, very rose-like and rose hip almost. I opened this yesterday and I was a little disappointed in the energy of it, but now I'm recognizing quality from previous vintages I've had. It's really tasty. It's got that almost yeasty bread-like flavor with, of course, licorice. There's very deep licorice, mealy, savory type, deep, dark, keeps going and going. It's pulled along by the tannins, an excellent terroir because you can taste minerality, some of the greenness of a quality vineyard, the cool, refreshing effect. But then the depth of fruit, like a currant cherry bomb, torpedoes in there with its licorice drive. I think it's midterm. I think it's like 5 to 10 years. That, no 100 points here. 94 would be about right. Very nice wine, nicely made. I have to say, there's some good construction going on in here. We're talking about a beauty here, 2020 Pichon, Longueville, Comtesse de Lalande. What do we got in the glass? More purple than the previous wine. Wow, there's steak, meat, and this green Cabernet Sauvignon lift, which sometimes gets attributed to underripe grapes, but I don't think this was an underripe vintage. This is more gentle, mellow, sweet green pepper and a hint of hickory smoke. The fruit's a bit subdued. It's in the background a bit. There's some black tea going on in here. Ultra complex wine that's shifting with every second. A wine like this, it just elevates itself. You know what I mean? It picks itself up by the bootstraps and takes you along. You don't have to force anything out of this. It's going to be what it's going to be. And what it's going to be is a grandiose wine. This is bordering on Premier Grand Cru. It must be. It must be knocking at the door. If I'm going to be nitpicky about it, I think it's a little sloppy towards the finish right now. It isn't as precise as it could be, as it will be, I'll bet you. Once this fruit tightens up a bit, it's going to drive on the finish, which is exemplary. It's both a tannic underpinning, but also that energy drive that you really only get from some terroirs. I'm not getting a telltale Pauillac just yet. It's more of a green tinged cigar box. The pencil shavings are still coming in. I like that about Pichon Comtesse. It pushes, but it doesn't over exaggerate. 20 is right across the board getting ready to go into hibernation. It's okay to buy them to save. But to pop, it's time to leave the 20s behind maybe. Concentrate on getting some of those 21s in us in anticipation of a whole pile of 22s coming on the market. And boy, that's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks a lot for joining. Really appreciate you being here. Remember, stay hydrated, but most importantly, stay thirsty.